Good morning, my people, my people, my people. My name is Tree Strumblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son, the diaspora machismo. My people, it was another beautiful day for a protest and I enjoyed every moment of it. There was nothing particularly interesting that I should bring to your attention. So, with that said, let me just go into what I want to speak to you about again. I'm going to address my people in Union Islands once again, and my role. And because I don't want the folly of the parents to affect their children. And you know what I'm speaking about? I'm speaking about the destruction that Hurricane Beryl did to Canouan, Unionites and Myro. But Canouan is getting better because the investment there is taking care of business on their behalf. Now we see Ralph Gonsalves cause you all to be evacuated back to the mainland. And his whole intention is that he don't have any money, because he has squandered the monies, the taxpayers' monies. He has not been able to pay the salary of public and civil servants. He bust the National Commercial Bank doing that. He bankrupted the building and loans doing that. He bankrupted the Agriculture Bank doing that. He have exhausted his relationship with the Caribbean Development Bank. He have exhaust his relationship with the East Caribbean Central Bank. He have exhausted his relationship with the governments of the Caribbean in borrowing monies to pay salaries and not paying them back. So the truth is, he has no money to help you. That is why he was trying to get you away from Union Islands, so that you can forget your problems in Union Islands and he will escape looking good. Now, he wants the children, almost 600 trillion children from Union Islands and Myro, to attend school on the mainland. And I give you ample reason why you should not allow this to happen. First thing, you are too far away to protect your children. I give you the example of what happened to those children from Union Islands who went to the Adams of Green Hills home, and their one rogue brother, good family, the Adams family, they had one rogue brother who was sexually abusing those children. Everyone on Union Island know about this story. Everyone in St. Vincent know about this story. You don't want your children to end up in a situation like this, because let me tell you something. Families knows about the bad habits of their brothers and sisters and they keep it quiet. And they may allow your children to come into their home thinking that they will be able to protect your children from their brother or sister who has a bad habit. But opportunity will present themselves and your children will become victims. Let me tell you something about my father, Hamilton Palmer. He loved me so much that he never took a chance with me. When I was a kid, I was about what? I was about 6 years old. There was some rumbling in the community, and at that time, I couldn't really process the information that I've been receiving. But now that I'm older, I get to understand what it was. There was a man by the name of Mr. Millington. I think he was from either Coast Hill or Spring Village, one of those villages. He worked at the sanitation department as a supervisor. He was a pedophile, and very often he will meet little boys from our community by themselves and he will take advantage of them. There was a particular young man who he did this to, And his father was a strong man. A man who did not mess around with his children. And my father got word that this thing happened to this man's son. That Mr. Millington raped his little boy. And when he was passing, my father called him. He said, I heard what happened. What are you going to do? My father was trying to tell him that he had to kill this man for raping his son. He stopped short of telling him he had to kill him, but he gave him every reason why he should have killed that man for raping his son. But the man's wife did not want to report it to the police. She did not want people to know. Although the word have already spread. I don't know how it spread, but it spread. However, sometime later, this pedophile came to my father's shop, and he ordered a pity of rum. I was in the shop, but 6 years old, sitting on the floor of my father's shop as usual. And my father said, excuse me. He brought him from the bar down to the grocery section where no one was. And he had a little conversation with this man. He said, listen to me. This is what my father Hamilton said to him. I know who you are. I know you are the man who go around raping little boys. He said, let me tell you something. He reached for his gun. You see this? If you ever messed with any one of my children, I'm going to shoot you in public. And with that said, please leave my shop now and don't ever come back into my shop. My father had some of his customers there, and they were saying, Sophie, you can't treat your customers like that. He is a man who can come and bring business to your shop. You have to, he said, listen to me. My father said, listen to me. I don't want his business. Let him take his business to someone who wants his business. I don't want his business. I don't want him in my shop. Nowhere wrong, nothing for me. Fast forward, sometime in the future, I can't remember exactly the time span between these events. It was now December. 9 Mornings was on. My mother was ill. She was terminally ill. She normally takes us to 9 Mornings. But now it was my sister Charmin who takes me to 9 Mornings. I love going to 9 Mornings. And for those of you who don't know what 9 Mornings is, if you're listening from some other place, it is between the 15th of December to the 25th of December. We have activities on the street from 12 o'clock midnight to the breaking of the sunset. Roller skating, bike riding, there are a lot of partying, there are church going. You do anything you want to do on the streets of your community. And it is a big thing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This morning, my sister Charmin did not want to go. And I wake up and she said she's not going. She's going to stay in and sleep. And I decided at 6 years old, I was going out to 9 Mornings. I got up, I opened the door, as I see Charmin used to do, and I closed the door from the outside as I saw my sister Charmin did. My mother knew that I left, but she was terminally ill, and she knew that she would not always be there to protect me. She did not stop me. But what she did, she went down on her knees, and by the time I left my home, she started praying, and she did not stop praying until I got back home. Now, while I was walking to go to the Central Platte uptown, where the 9 Mornings activities takes place, I was stopped at the North River Road Bridge by the same Mr. Millington, the pedophile. He had a brand new Suzuki bike, 100 Suzuki bike. He stopped me and said, little boy, where you going? I said, I'm going 9 Mornings. He said, look at my bike, you like my bike? I said, yes, I like your bike, it's a nice bike. He said, you want to ride on my bike? I say, yes, a little boy, 6 years old. I didn't know, well, what he's all about. But before he gave me a ride, he said, who is your father? I said, my father is Mr. Palmer. He have a shop down the road. He said, come on the bike. I'm gonna drive across. And when I drive across, point out the house to me. And he drove along back street, go down to the cemetery, and I pointed out, he said, that house is my father's house. And he go down to the cemetery, turn his bike around, and he came back to where he was sitting, where I met him, and he took me off of his bike, and he said, little boy, go on, little boy, go on, little boy, chase me away. Because he remembered what my father said. This was the extreme that my father chose to go to ensure that I was taken care of. Later, when I was about 14 or so, I used to be around the bay, hanging out with Doogie, Vincent Prop, and Eddie. All of these people were fishermen. And Eddie, Doogie, and Vincent worked with George McCarty, who they call Budo. Budo was known to be a homosexual. But I would hang around them, but I didn't get involved in their business. We were very good friends. They cook, and they treat me like a brother. They know my brothers and my sisters and my father. So they looked out for me. So one day, Mr. McCarty discovered that his boat boy was stealing money when he go to sell fish. So Mr. McCarty say, Eddie, why don't you ask Palmer if you want to be the boat boy? Because he goes to Timmy school. By 1 o'clock they're out of school, and he's an honest kid. So when they come and ask me if I want to, I say, listen to me, I heard Mr. McCarty is a homosexual, and I don't want to put myself in a position where I am accosted by him and something have to happen. You understand? So I said, I don't want. They told me, you would not have to deal with Mr. McCarty, and so forth and so forth. So now, I decided to be the boat boy, and I never had a problem with Mr. McCarty while I was their boat boy. So I will wake up in the morning at 4 o'clock, go to Mr. McCarty's house, ask him for the key, go to the engine room, take out all of the, and take out the engine and the gas and so forth, and prepare the boat so that the fishermen could go to sea. And in the evening, I'll wait for them. If they go to the market, sell their fish for them wholesale, or have a vendor chop the fish for me and bring back the money, go replenish the gas, make sure everything is secure, and then they will give me a fish, a dolphin, a kingfish. Sometimes I make about $80 with the kingfish or the dolphin, and when I finish, I get a share. That is how they deal with the boat boy. The share might be a little $40 if they really do well. They give me a little $40 or $60, depends on how well they do. And everything was going good when my father discovered that I was working with as a boat boy for Mr. McCarty. My father got up early one morning, and he went and he knocked on Mr. McCarty's window. And he opened up, and my father had a beautiful conversation with Mr. McCarty. He said, listen to me, I'm not going to stop Alan from working because he needs to learn to work, but I know your reputation. And my father threatened Mr. McCarty, if he messes with his son, he's going to come here and he's going to shoot him. I never had a problem with Mr. George McCarty. The very day my father died was the very day I stopped working as a boat boy for Mr. McCarty and for my friends Vincent and them. Because now my father was not in the picture. I'm not going to expose myself because I know I had my father's protection. I ain't going to expose myself to that. I tell you the story to let you know. that as parents, you need to be vigilant and take unpopular decisions so your children can be safe. It was my father's action that ensured I was never the victim of a pedophile. If my father followed the counsel of his friends that frequent his shop and allowed that man to visit the shop, he would not have had any respect or regards for my father. It was because my father put the fear of him in that pedophile and my mother's prayer combined saved me from this pedophile. Union Island, you have to be strong. Do what is right for your children. My name is Tree Strongblood, St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son, the diaspora chief.